Hello and welcome YouTubers. So our ride today is a clockwise loop starting in Eagle Mountain, Utah, which is southwest of Salt Lake City and just west of Provo. So today we've got 4 of us and we'll get a look here at the map. So you can see Eagle Mountain's up in the top right, and then down at the bottom is Eureka, a small mining town, which we have lunch. So the 4 of us are myself, Darren, on my CFMoto 450 MT, Marcus on his KTM 1090R, Heather on her Triumph Tiger, and her son Matthias on his Africa Twin. So after probably not much more than a mile of tarmac to get out of Eagle Mountain proper, we're already onto this cool double track power line road heading south into what is the Cedar Valley, eventually down towards Eureka. That's Heather in front of me, and we will just follow this road. As you can see, we've had a bunch of rain recently, and so there's tons of puddles, and but yet the road's already drying out in other places to where we're getting dust. Really a beautiful day though, with temps in the mid-50s to mid-60s. Some beautiful views, as you can see as I turn my head here to the left of the Wasatch Range off to the east. The mountains have already started to get snow, as you can see, with all this moisture we received. So just a note on the raw audio, the wind noise into the camera whenever I'm sitting down and getting buffeting is kind of rough, so bear with me on the audio. I did the best I could. So anyway, as this road continues south, it does start to get rougher in places. And as you'll see here, I follow Heather up a fairly rocky little climb with some really loose stuff on it. But it's in general, it's a great, fun little road that winds around and just continues to make its way south. So at this point, I moved up to behind Marcus, and we pick up the pace a little bit. As you'll see, this section has got some fun twisty stuff, some rocky sections, in and around puddles, and we're away from the power lines now and headed along a fence line towards an intersection here to the south. So as we make our way to the south end of this Cedar Valley here, and as I start glancing off to my right, you'll notice there's a big black patch. And what that is this huge solar array that's stationed on the south end of the Cedar Valley here that it probably stretches, I don't know, a mile by 2 or 3 miles. It's pretty big. I'm not sure who owns or runs it, but we assume that it powers the local cities. So here, as we get down into the Little Moab area, which would be off to our left, we'll make the right onto a much more maintained road and shoot down to the intersection with Hammondsville Pass Road, where we'll take a little break before proceeding to the left up the pass. I'm gonna go shoot this sign. So this is Hammondsville Pass Road. I take the lead here and start heading up the pass. This is a really cool, windy gravel road. It's fairly well maintained, but not quite as much as the last one we were on. Anyway, it winds around, probably gains about 1,500 feet of elevation between here and the summit, which is at about 6,500 feet, and we'll stop up there, you'll see. So as we climb, you can see we're getting into a lot more vegetation with the juniper pines as contrasted to the more desert landscape we were on before. This is the summit. So after dropping down from Hammondsville Summit, we make our way down and then cut off to the left on a tight double track that parallels the highway and winds around. It's probably the most technical stuff that we ride today, with rutted sections and steep downhills. That's kind of a cutoff for the more maintained road that heads us down to the Tintic mining tunnel that you'll see in a moment. So here we are on that bigger road I was talking about that heads down towards the tunnel, and I'm following Marcus, and something really cool happens. I zoom in here, and if you look, a hawk flies across the road in front of me about 100 yards, and it stops in the bushes to the left. So as I pull down, I look over, and lo and behold, it takes off just as I come by, and it's got a snake in its claws. So cool. I'm really glad I got that on video. So here's where we pull off of that main road again and join another tight double track that takes us up to the entrance of the Tintic railway tunnel.
So here we are approaching the entrance to the historic Tintic Railway Tunnel. This is a really cool feature out here in the West Desert. I don't know a lot about it or its history, but it's really cool that you can ride through it, and it's a big attraction out here with all of the recreational folks on their side-by-sides and four-wheelers, as you can imagine. So give it a listen.
Right after you dip in, it's muddy in the middle, so just stay to the right. Go after the tunnel, go to the left of this big rock because it's a big puddle. Yeah, to the left of the big rock. That's fine. Just around that rock. See if I can get you guys okay. That's pretty cool, huh?
So after leaving the tunnel, we backtracked our way on that main road up to the highway and made our way into Eureka, where we stopped and had an awesome lunch and got to chat for a while. This is the footage of us leaving Eureka and riding through the main historic part of town. It's an old mining town, obviously, and has a lot of history.
So just a mile or two west of Eureka on Highway 6, we turn off to the north on 36, quickly making our way back into the dirt, first on the west side of the road and then crossing over to the east side on a cool double track that parallels the railroad tracks. We eventually veer off to the northeast, which takes us to 5 Mile Pass and back onto the pavement, ending our dirt adventure for the day. Unfortunately, my camera died pretty quickly here, and so we will go ahead and sign off. And thanks for watching, and let us know what you think in the comments. Ciao.